How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Bengals Jaguars Thursday night football. Bengals coming off a big win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jaguars coming off a game against the Cardinals. They ended up losing, but let me tell you what. I'm gonna say it early. Do not sleep on these Jaguars. I know you go into a Thursday night game thinking this team's gonna be a team you walk right over. You go with that mindset, and this team's gonna beat you. Jacksonville 0-3, sure. Team you think you should beat. Team that struggled mightily in the past few years. Team that has a brand new quarterback, though, if you didn't know. Trevor Lawrence, brand new head coach. As we all know over here, probably Ohio State fans or Bengal fans as well here. Well aware of the coach over there. Two new faces over there. New scheme, new coach, or new player, new quarterback. We'll get it out. New quarterback, new coach. They're kind of still working on the chemistry. They're working on figuring out what works right. Obviously, Lawrence clearly making some rookie mistakes back there at quarterback now. He's had multiple interceptions in a couple games here for these Jaguars. But I tell you what, you look at this Arizona Cardinals game last week. This is a game the Jaguars were really in control of. I wouldn't say they weren't dominating, but they was, in the game, the entire game. They was winning going into halftime. You watch the first Trevor Lawrence interception. They was driving on the Cardinals. Again, I think this ball was about the 25 or so, close to the red zone. And the receiver dropped the ball straight off his chest, bounced into a Cardinals player's hands. Otherwise, that would have been points there. Their kicker had an awful day. Points left off the board there. This game was a lot closer than what the scoreboard suggested. And that is a very good, high-powered Arizona Cardinals team. And Jacksonville gave them a fight. I think this is a Jags team that gets better week in and week out again because you got the new coach, you got the new quarterback. And it's a team with, it looks like they're finally starting to establish the run game. I think that's what's important for the Jaguars. They want to beat the Bengals. They got to get that run game going and try to get some run good yards against this Bengals defense. A Bengals defense who, by the way, has done an exceptional job of stopping the run, headed by Larry Ogunjobi. I got to bring him up. I mean, this guy, every single week now, we've seen this guy a couple times during the game shed a few blocks, get to the backfield, and make some big run stops. Jacksonville's going to have to avoid that. The third and longs ain't good. The other interception we've seen Trevor Lawrence, probably an unnecessary play for these Jags because they was winning the football game. They tried a flea flicker. Lawrence forced it. They brought it back. That was points off the board. Again, game was closer than what it suggested. You got to be careful because the Bengals just came off a game where they beat the big bad Steelers. And they beat them in very dominant fashion. And if you're the Bengals, I am looking for them to unleash Joe Burrow some more. Jaguars got no sacks on Kyler Murray last week. Bengals offensive line played exceptionally well last week against the Steelers defensive line. Hey, say what you will about the injuries. We get you. Steelers like to dial up that pressure, though. Steelers like to get to the quarterback no matter who is or isn't injured. And the Bengals kept Joe Burrow clean from a sack perspective last week. I think we seen at the end of the game last week a little bit of a perspective change here. It's clear that Taylor was going into these first couple weeks worried about Joe Burrow's health. I think we seen him let Joe Burrow loose a little bit more last week. There's a couple of times Joe Burrow scrambled, tried to get some yards. We ain't seen that in the first 2 weeks. And more importantly, remember that fourth quarter. It was 24-7 Bengals. Fourth quarter, 24-7 Bengals. They passed the ball on first down. Did they pass it on second? They passed it on third. Doesn't matter. They passed the ball on first down. The first 2 weeks, we've seen the Bengals play very, very conservative in that fourth quarter where they was trying to run as much as they could. And that felt like a little change of tone there where they said, let's let Burrow try to take control of this. They said, let's play aggressive. Don't let the Steelers get back in this game. We're up 3 possessions. That means nothing. We're going to play aggressive. And I think we're starting to see, that's Zach Taylor's mindset at the end of the day. I think he's an aggressive coach who wants to air the football out. I just think he's been playing conservative. And I look for him to throw that football even more against Jacksonville. They're still going to mix in Joe Mixon. Joe Mixon has done an exceptional job these first 3 weeks, along with this offensive line last week. And I really do think this is the Joe Burrow coming out party for the year. I think this is where we see the Joe Burrow bold. 35, 40 passes, 300 plus passing yards. The question is, do we get one of them? We ain't had it that much this season. There's been some good Thursday night football games. Do we get one of those typical Thursday night games, short week, where there's a blowout? Game ain't even close. Or do we see another nail biter between these two teams where Trevor Lawrence slings it back and forth with Joe Burrow all this game. I want to see the Bengals get ahead early. I want to see them get ahead early. I want a couple possession lead because I think when the Jaguars play from behind, that's where Trevor Lawrence gets shaky. That's where things for this Jaguars offense gets shaky. He starts making mistakes. You let this team stay in this game and you know dang well we're going to get that fourth quarter. There's going to be a show. Right now, though, it looks like Trevor Lawrence still gets a little bit flustered back there. It looks like he still makes some mistakes back there, some young rookie mistakes. How are we doing a short week? Thursday Night Football. Bengals. Our road game, by the way, not in Jacksonville. A little bit different of an atmosphere. Paul Brown Stadium, by the way, which I expect to be absolutely pumped coming into that Thursday night game after beating the Steelers. Chance to go 3-1. I think the big thing here for this Bengals team is going to be the health of these CBs. We are still waiting on Chidobe Awuzie news. Trey Waynes, they're optimistic about, but we'll see again short week. Yeah, Eli Apple, Phillips, that's going to be tough. Jaguars got 3 good wide receivers. Marvin Jones, Laviska Shenault, and DJ Chark. Those guys are tough. You can't get to Trevor Lawrence right away. They give him a clean pocket. He's going to be able to move that football up and down the field against those cornerbacks, I think. So you got to be careful if the Bengals aren't healthy here. We could see a pretty high-scoring game. We might be shocked here. It's just, I can't stress it enough. Taylor will be doing the same. Do not sleep on these Jacksonville Jaguars. I think this is a game the Bengals should win. I'm predicting that they will win. But be careful. Don't get too overconfident in this game. I'm going to say Bengals. And Joey B's coming out party 38. Jaguars 24. That's our thoughts. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.